Yo, 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 Big Kish back up in here. They saying the feeling is being restored again. Shout out to Jalopy Bungus, man. He came up with a story and says that the feeling of the B.E.T. Hip Hop Awards felt black again. And that's what's up. Y'all remember when you gathered around with your family in the living room and y'all just waiting? Y'all waiting for them awards to come back on. Said that's the feeling again. You know what I'm saying? Before we get into that, y'all make sure y'all please go pick up a copy of Street Dad, Geeky Dad, Avoiding the Manufactured Mindset, written by me, Big Kish. The link will be in the description. I appreciate y'all's support. Y'all know I don't like holding y'all. Without further ado, let's get it.
This video is about to get very surgical, so stay with me, all right? First and foremost, I want to say B.E.T. kind of did their thing last night. And which is wild because B.E.T. been asked for a while.
Yeah.
B.E.T. has been garbage.
From the last I heard, B.E.T. they done sold it from somebody black to somebody white. And then when they got their hands on it, it ain't been right ever since. I don't know what's going on behind the scenes, but look, they said hip hop is back up in there. You know what I'm saying? For a while,
you see what I'm saying? But last night, I seen a whole lot of differences in the production and what they were deciding to do. And I kind of want to highlight those differences. I want to highlight why so many people felt like this B.E.T. Awards was one of the best in recent memory. Now, you've been watching B.E.T. for a while. You know there's been a lot of criticism headed that way, especially from the black community. You see what I'm saying? And I kind of want to talk about the origins of B.E.T. just to show y'all that these criticisms are pretty valid. So the network was founded by former cable industry lobbyist Robert L. Johnson with a $15,000.
Okay, he about to do the knowledge. He about to do the knowledge, y'all. Listen, check it out. Check it out.
Lobbyist Robert L. Johnson with a $15,000 loan and $500,000 investment from media executive John Malone. Starting with altruistic intentions, Johnson saw the dearth of positive depictions of the black community at the time and sought to fill that void. So initially, they give you the mission statement of BET. You see what I'm saying? It was about the depiction of the black community that was important. So if this is the origins of what BET was supposed to be, if they lose that, what do you think is going to happen? In its first year, BET started with 2 hours of weekly programming, comprised of music videos and reruns of black sitcoms. It wasn't until 1983 that BET became fully independent of any channel or programming block as a network. By the mid-80s, BET was turning a profit. In 1985, BET diversified itself by featuring politically oriented news programs, comedy showcases, talk shows, and sports features. Things began to take off with the launch of the Ed Gordon-hosted BET News Show in 1988. So clearly, this was a much more diverse program with a whole lot more going on for a whole lot more different pockets of black people. You see what I'm saying? However, things started to take a downward turn at the start of the new century. By 2002, BET went through a restructuring phase where it leaned heavily into its entertainment programs, primarily airing rap videos. The new network canceled nearly all of its news staff and news programs. BET Nightly News remained until its cancellation in 2005. What does that sound like to y'all? I wonder what happened right here to where it went about the depictions of black people to strictly the entertainment for black people. I wonder.
Wow. So it went until like they talked about everything, like black issues and all of that, until they just made it about entertainment. That's something to think about. See, I was always under the assumption that BET was owned by black people. I thought it was owned by blacks. But then there was a year where they sold it to, well, somebody white had brought it. What year was that? I think it was, however things started to take downward turn at the start of the new century by 2002. Okay, let's see.
What happened there? So if it took a downward turn at the start of the new century, right? It went through a restructuring phase, right? Went away from black depictions and solely to black entertainment. That sounds very familiar. That sounds extremely familiar. Almost like you can predict what happened around this time for this switch to take place. Oh, BET was no longer a black owned.
There we go. There we go. This is what I remember right here. BT is no longer a black owned. I don't know what the rest of that say. You got it cut off. Oh, okay.
Entity in 2000. So this is where the restructuring phase begins and where the depiction of blackness is no longer the main goal. It's about entertaining blacks. You see what I'm saying? Entertainment by their aspects, of course. This is not a coincidence, y'all. This is what white supremacists do. They have to control the minds. They have to control the minds. And because of that, where is the best place to go but BET? You see what I'm saying? Somewhere where a lot of different black people from different structures go to watch things. This is when they started to get criticism, right? These critics and others have asserted that BET's programming perpetuates harmful stereotypes for ratings and bottom line business. They further claim the television network promotes and justifies sexism, racism, tired tropes, and the one-dimensional view on black culture and community today. Now, I'm all for a good joke. I'm all for, you know what I'm saying,
yeah, I'm all for a good joke and entertainment sometimes. Like I said, there's a scripture that says there's a time and a season for everything. There's a time to laugh. There's a time to cry. But what they want to do is they want to enforce that, oh, you need to be playing around all the time. Everything need to be about jokes. And this is why we got our youngins out here. Whenever you walk in Walmart, whenever you walk in Food Line, wherever you go, you got them dancing in the aisles and all of that. Everything is a play, 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 play. That's conditioning. There's nothing serious on TV about, okay, all right, they need a channel where as though they're going to talk about their issues. What could they do to overcome their oppression? They said, nah, nope, we don't need that. We don't need them to have that because then they're going to start rising.
Being witty and all that stuff, you know, the Dave Chappelle's of the world, the Cat Williams of the world, boom, boom, boom. But there also is a line. You see what I'm saying? There's a line. I think that's what this is speaking to. How do we understand the criticisms for BET, right? And how all that took place. And we understand the origin statement for what BET was supposed to be. We can definitely understand why people had so many critiques for BET. But something felt very different about last night. Something felt very differently. When you look at the reviews, when you look at how many people were tuned in, of course, Kendrick Lamar, the biggest rapper in the world, he was there, so it turned it up. I'm not like, that's for sure. But just because somebody's there doesn't mean the quality's gonna be great. People were grading the show well, not just Kendrick being there, the show well. I think one of the main features is they were appealing to the millennial. You see what I'm saying? You had the basement freestyles come back. And not only did you have the basement freestyles come back, you had Tigger actually there and Ludacris. Ludacris was the one delivering the freestyle and he was trying to go crazy. I know Ludacris his lyricism might be a little limited or whatever, but you could tell he was at his capacity cooking. Ludacris is in there cooking. That could lead us down a path where more artists come back to the basement and deliver freestyles. That would be amazing. You even had Kevin Hart doing a freestyle to squabble up, you know what I'm saying? You add the comedic effect. Kevin Hart was hosting a situation, doing his thing, you feel me? I'm not a big Kevin Hart fan, but I'm just saying when we talk about the optics, it felt like
I used to be a Kevin Hart fan. He when he first came out, he was funny, but then something changed. His jokes started to get diluted. Like it wasn't the same, man. I'm more of a Mike Epps. I think Mike Epps is funnier than Kevin Hart. There's always that debate. Who's funnier? Mike Epps, to me, is way more funnier than Kevin Hart. Let's get it, though.
Like we was taking a step back in time. Jamie Foxx getting up there and delivering an incredible speech about his stroke situation, about him getting a second chance at life. It was powerful. It was powerful. Queen Latifah made an appearance.
He got a dope comedy special on Netflix. I believe it's Netflix, but it's fire. Yeah, I gotta check that out. Jamie Foxx special he got.
Stevie Wonder made an appearance and he was up there cracking jokes. Even though he's an habitual fence sitter, Snoop Dogg went up there and had something to say and do. Not to mention Doechii once again goes up there, wins an award, and uses her time and her platform to talk about the protests that were going on outside that very building. While everybody's having a great time, you feel me, winning awards, everybody's, you know what I mean? Everybody eating good, drinking good, all this different stuff. There's real shit going on right outside that building. And Doechii used her time to talk about this. I think, like, it was hitting on all levels.
Round of applause for Doechii, y'all. Round of applause for Doechii, man. That's why I go hard on people like Aiden Ross up there disrespecting our sisters like that, because you got everybody being goofballs at the B.E.T. joint, but it's real issues going on outside that need to be discussed. You know what I'm saying? And she took that opportunity, and I salute her for that, man.
I'm glad it wasn't bleeped out. I'm glad it wasn't none of that. You see what I'm saying? I love it. This also showed me that I've always been right about Doechii. I always knew Doechii was one of them ones in every facet. I always knew it. I still believe in her. Some of y'all don't like Doechii. That don't got nothing to do with me. Doechii is the one. They also had streamers there to get this new generation familiar with what black entertainment television used to look like. I think they should keep having streamers pull up. You see what I'm saying? Merging the millennials with the new Gen Z audiences, but having them film from different perspectives. It's great. You see what I'm saying?
This is why I like to talk about old stuff. When people be like, oh, that's old. We already knew about that. Listen, I do this for a reason, because there's a lot of new fans out there, fans of hip hop, that they don't know where we came from and why we have this solid foundation in our beliefs, why we believe so much. You know what I'm saying? Why we like what we have so much. They don't know. So we got to reintroduce them to the things that we came from. You know what I'm saying?
It's a great idea. It's using the old ways of media and the new ways of media to promote the same product. And I think that it was a great idea. And honestly, yeah, I think this is going down a great direction. I think we definitely need to see some of the faces in the back scenes change. I would love that. Would definitely love that before I get too invested in B.E.T. But yeah, if we can find a way to get this turned back around to where music videos are being shown, new artists are being promoted, the artists that are running the game right now are being promoted. Their music videos on YouTube are being shown on the television premiere. You got the freestyles coming back free instead of fuck all the, you know what I'm saying? They got the under radar and all that shit. Let's get back to the freestyles on B.E.T. and have real spitters go up there. Have the Absols of the world go up there, the Lupe Fiascos and all that type of stuff. You feel me? A lot of people found MF Doom on B.E.T. You feel me? Fancy Clown was on B.E.T. You see what I'm saying? It's that type of stuff that the B.E.T. got to be tapping in with the underground and with what's current. You feel me? And I think if we get back to diversifying the topics, the shows, the ideas, B.E.T. can really start to dominate and hopefully get some black leadership in the backgrounds to make sure that the depiction of black people is at the forefront once again. But thank y'all for watching.
Yeah, it's more than just entertainment. I know it's I know the acronym for B.E.T. You know what I'm saying? But it's more than just entertainment. We can't just be playing our whole life. You know what I'm saying? There's issues that need to be discussed that'll help us further and rise as a nation. You know what I mean? But yeah, shout out to Jalopy for cooking that up. That was fire. I like that. It's things that need to be talked about. You know what I mean? I'm going to leave a link in the description. Y'all let me know what y'all think about this, man. Big Kish signing out. I'm going, y'all.